about travel. It's Ricky Tyus from It's Your Time to Travel on TalkTainmentRadio.com. Radio the way it should be heard. Listeners, you can join the conversation by calling 877-932-9766. And the second half of the show, two things to talk about really is we have a video of a man jumps on the wing of a plane as it sits on the runway. And the second thing we have to talk about is the latest travel trend called Gramping is the latest travel trend. But first we're going to go into a new commercial that has been produced for TYUS Tours and Travel. And we'll go into that, and then after that we'll go into Gramping. Gramping is get ready for the next travel trend. It's called Gramping, and it's pretty much like it sounds. Gramping is a way for grandparents to bond with their grandchildren by taking them on a skip generation trip. And skip generation means that they leave their parents at home and the kids travel with the grandkids. Of course, many travelers take vacations that involve multiple generations, but Gramping is all about leaving the parents at home and letting just grandma and grandpa take the kids for a while. And it really works out to be a win-win situation for everybody. Okay, so that's what we're going to get into after this commercial. And that's what we're going to get into.
I really needed
a good travel advisor.
And I kept searching.
And searching.
There are so many choices.
It's really hard to find one that has all the things on my list.
But I finally did it.
Yes. Thank you.
If you were looking for one as well,
Look no further.
Here's a really good one.
Just use mine.
Use mine.
I'm very satisfied.
Definitely recommend.
Problem gone.
Thank you.
So, get ready for the next travel trend called Gramping. The concept is pretty much like it sounds. And according to Boomer magazine,
they could play it all. I mean, they could play.
Gramping is a way for grandparents to bond with their grandchildren by taking them on a skip a generation trip. Of course, many travelers take vacations that involve multiple generations, but Gramping is all about leaving the parents at home and letting just grandma and grandpa take the kids for a while. It is a win-win situation for everybody. It's true that parents win by getting some rest and relaxation time together, and grandparents win by improving their relationship with their grandkids and finding the perfect excuse to travel. And according to a survey done by AARP in 2017, travel is the top bucket list item for 83% of the baby boomers out there. Plus, it's a great way to mark big milestones for your grandkids, like graduation, major birthdays, or other special occasions. And of course, there are some tips for making your skip gen trip rewarding for both you and the grandkids. After all, this is their vacation as much as yours, so it's important to get to know their likes and dislikes. One good way to keep the kids active is to give them some small responsibilities like holding the map or deciding on where to go some days. However, it's also important to remember that this is your chance to spoil your grandkids a little. Grandparents need to be willing to play basketball, ping pong, or whatever to connect with the kids, the experts say. TYUS Tours and Travel also recommends interesting cities, interesting events. The biggest event that we have that families really get involved in is the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade in New York. Boston, Atlantic, Seattle, Washington, D.C., or Vancouver. All these places have great activities for kids. I also suggest cruising. Cruising would be an excellent way to bond grandparents and grandkids. Also, Adventures by Disney would be another great choice for this gramping, this new trend in travel. Adventure by Disney offers some amazing trips that keeps everybody on the trip involved. And Adventures by Disney's has the same attention that taking a Disney vacation would have. So there's some suggestions for grandparents for this new gramping experience. New York City, Boston, Atlantic, Seattle, Washington, D.C., or maybe in the city that you live in, the art museum, the library. You know, there's different places that you can bond with your grandkids and just keep the parents out of it. But of course, don't feel confined to North America. There are tons more amazing trip ideas to take with your grandkids all over the world as well. So we just talked about a new travel trend called gramping, and it's basically where the grandparents take the kids on a vacation without the parents. And it's very rewarding for both the grandkids and the parents. So next we have a video of a man that jumps on the wing of a plane. All this took place Osman Airline, which is in Africa. And this man, it was a tense 37 minutes of fear for passengers on the Osman airplane when a man boated on the tarmac and jumped on the wing of the aircraft as it waited to take off. You see him standing there now. The frightening scene took place Friday in Nigeria. The incident was captured in real time by a passenger who uploaded it on Instagram. So that's what a plane does when it first starts up. And this passenger who tells this story is saying that this is an emergency. For 30 minutes, we've been stuck at the runway by an unidentified man who ran to the aircraft with a bag. Security has not shown up, and everyone is panicking. I have so many questions to ask, but right now, I can't even breathe. Please share this to all relevant authorities. This person reported the event to the Port Harcourt and was taxiing for takeoff when the unidentified man came running out of some nearby bushes towards the plane. The pilot spotted him and immediately slowed down the plane and cut the engine. The man approached the plane with gloves and a bag, which he dropped inside one of the engines before climbing up on one of the engine casings near the wing. This person Instagrammed a plea to alert authorities, and it was due to the delay that they took in handling the situations. Officials from the airport of Nigeria arrived on the scene 23 minutes after the man approached the plane, but were reluctant to approach him. And 14 minutes later, security officers arrived and apprehended the man. So, can you imagine being on an airplane where some guy on the outside of the airplane is climbing up on the wing, and all the passengers were frantic. They were scared to death. They didn't know what was going on. And it was 37 minutes before the situation was resolved. So can you imagine that happening, scaring you to death? So after all this was taken care of, everyone was told to disembark the plane to be screened at security again before taking off. So that was a tragic experience, very, very tragic experience, and hope that never happens to you if you're on an airplane. Wow. Absolutely amazing. So the last thing I have is this just in. Tokyo reportedly looks to cruise ships to resolve Olympic hotel shortages. In 2020, the Summer Olympic Games is headed to Tokyo, but the city is already anticipating a shortage of accommodations with the influx in visitors. According to a report, the city is looking to cruise ships to solve as a floating hotel to resolve the problem. Even construction boom cannot resolve the problem of a shortage. The report suggests Tokyo could be short as many as 14,000 rooms for Olympic-related tourists. Local officials are suggesting ships in a harbor in Tokyo to house people during the games. So, on previous shows, I talked about cruising, doing a cruise that will put you in Tokyo for the Olympics. And I have reserved space on 2 cruises. One departs Hong Kong July 26th, and it arrives in Tokyo August 1st, and you'll be in Tokyo for 2 nights. And then I reserved a second cruise that leaves from Tokyo going to Hong Kong. It departs on August 2nd. It departs on August the 3rd, but you board the ship on August the 2nd. So basically on this cruise, it would be a 14-day cruise, about a 14-day cruise. And it'll put you in Tokyo for 4 days. And you'll be able to, from 7 a.m. on August the 1st to 5 p.m. on August the 4th, you'll be able to be housed in Tokyo during the Olympics. And also be able to see Hong Kong, Osaka, Okinawa. You'll be able to see all these different places. So this is a way for you to go to Olympics, be part of the Olympics, and be housed for 4 days during the Olympics. I have other Olympic packages that start at $4,700, and this 14-day cruise that you get a chance to be in the Olympics for again, you'll be there Saturday, Sunday, Monday. You'll sell out Monday night at 5 p.m. So you'll be there Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, and sell out of Tokyo. So that'll put you in the Olympics for 3 days, and you also get a chance to go to Kobe, Japan, Okinawa, Kochi, Japan. So you get a chance to see Hong Kong. So you get a chance to do over those 14 days, do several things. So the price of the cruise starts at about $1,400. I have reserved a few cabins each way. So if you're interested, please give us a call at 877-932-9766. That's kind of what the stadium looks like. We're talking about Tokyo in 2020 and being at the Olympics. And if the cruise doesn't sound like your cup of tea, we also have available packages, but the packages are going fast. As stated, the packages are really going fast, and they start at about $4,800. So if you're interested in going to Olympics in 2020, give us a call at 877-932-9766. So just to cover, just so you know, the first half of the show, we talked about out of the 21 richest countries on the planet, the U.S. is the only one that doesn't offer mandatory paid vacation. It's the only one that doesn't offer mandatory paid vacation. The city of New York, recently, back in March, the mayor has made every resident in New York a mandatory 2 weeks vacation. So out of 21 rich countries, the United States has 0 mandatory paid vacation and 0 paid holidays. And just so you're not confused, is that businesses do offer vacation, but it's up to their discretion, and it's also up to their discretion when you can take your vacation. And in other countries, vacation is mandatory. One of the things I suggested at the top of the show is that we declare this an emergency situation and do something about it. We declared an emergency situation. The European Union imposes a 4-week minimum of paid vacation time for all countries that belong to the EU. France requires companies to offer 30 days of paid vacation, plus 1 paid holiday. Austria, Denmark, Finland offered 25 days of paid vacation, plus at least 9 days paid holidays. Countries like Australia, Belgium, Greece, Italy, Ireland, and Germany all offer 20 days of paid vacation, plus a minimum of 8 paid vacations. And then on the lower end, Canada, Japan offer 10 days of paid vacation time, plus 9 days and 15 days of paid holidays. And at the very bottom of the chart is the U.S., with 0 paid vacation and 0 paid holidays. Other thing that we talked about earlier in the show, the first half of the show, is a passenger wakes up alone in the dark on an empty airplane. Can you imagine waking up on an airplane? And this was only a 90-minute flight, so she took a short nap. She woke up, she was still seated, she was still strapped to her seat. The plane was dark, plane was cold, cell phone wouldn't work. She couldn't raise anybody on the airplane radio because all the power was off. And she was lucky enough to and she tried opening the door, but the tarmac was 50 feet below. So she got the attention of a worker on the tarmac who fetched a ladder truck and was able to get her off the plane. So one of the other things that we talked about was sleeping pills, booze, and planes. We gave some stories of people sleepwalking on a plane because they took a sleeping pill and drank booze. And we gave a few stories about that, and we explained why this happens. In the first half of the show, we talked about how alcohol is dehydrating, and taking Ambien really turns you into a Teflon brain. And we explain why this happens, because on the plane you're not really sleeping, because the lights are on, people are moving around, and there's tons of interruptions. And you may take a sleeping pill and not fall asleep, and that puts you in a altered state. So we gave some tips. We gave 5 tips on. We gave 5 tips for sleeping on a plane, and avoid being put into induced sleep by Ambien or some of these medications. We suggest taking melatonin instead. The 3rd tip was to limit alcohol. The 4th tip was to pack a sleep kit, eye masks, earplugs, travel pillow or light blanket, or even a sweater, an audio book or a video, a relaxing playlist, along with noise-canceling headphones, and water to stay hydrated. And we also suggest that you plan ahead. You plan ahead by planning your sleep around the timing and purpose of your flight. One of the examples I gave is when I'm flying out early in the morning, I tend to get less sleep at night, first of all, because I have to be at the airport at some ridiculous hour, 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. So I tend to get less sleep, but I'm able to fall asleep on the plane. So those are just some of the tips that we gave in the first half of the show. And we also talked about Gramping, this new travel trend where grandparents are taking the grandkids on vacation without the parents. We gave some interesting things to do that grandparents can do with their grandkids. The number one thing is the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade is a great event for the grandparents and the kids. We talked about cruising. We talked about New York City. We talked Vancouver, Boston, Washington, D.C. Even if you can't get them out of the city, try going to the art museum here in Columbus, Cosi. There's places that you can take the kids and leave the parents at home, and that new travel trend is called Gramping. Called Gramping is the new travel trend. And last but not least, we talked about Tokyo in 2020 for the Olympics. I reserved cabins on 2 cruises that will put you in Tokyo for 4 days, 3 nights. And also you'll be able to cruise from Hong Kong to Tokyo. You'll be able to see Osaka, Japan, Okinawa, Hong Kong, and then spend 3 days in the Olympics. So if you're interested in that, give us a call. Deposit per cruise is $100. And the final payment is due by April 1st, 2020. So give us a call at 877-932-9766 if you're interested in that. And also, this November 6th, we have an event going on in Aruba. It's November 6th through the 13th. The travel package for hotels is like $85 a night. So it's not very expensive, and it's at a really nice hotel. And if you're interested in that, also, you can give us a call or visit my website, TYUStours.com. So don't forget about the new travel trend. It's called Gramping. Spend some time with your grandkids without their parents. Get to know them, let them get to know you. And it gives you a chance to spoil them for a while. There's just so much going on. But just send us a comment at It's Your Time to Travel at TYUStours.com and let us know what you think of the show. Send us a comment, drop a note, or you can go on my Facebook page at It's Your Time to Travel on TalkTainmentRadio.com, and just drop us a note. Let us know what you think of the show, how we can improve the show, how we can get you to call in. Is it giving away prizes? Is it doing different things? But give us a call. Let us know. So look up in the sky. So superheroes of travel. It's Ricky TYUS able to take you around the world by air, land, or sea, even by flying saucer on TalkTamerRadio.com. Radio the way it should be heard.